the Fantasy Pylon. I'm your host today, Sean, alongside Hunter, also known as the Shadow Ninja. So today we're going to be talking about the top 10 quarterbacks for the 2019 fantasy football season. And I'm going to announce the average draft position and see where we have them together, Hunter. So the first things first, the number one quarterback, and it's kind of hard to disagree on this one, but this might be the worldwide number one. I mean, he's on the cover of Madden now. He's the MVP. He was some sleeper in our league last year. I know our Dallas picked him up really late and somehow picked him up and won the league. So if you didn't win the league with him, well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that. But Patrick Mahomes, he's the number one average draft position. I know we both have him at number one, and I see it repeating again, and there's not a lot else to say about that. He's got one of the best offenses, not even like in this year, like in the past 10 years. So Patrick Mahomes, if everything goes right, if he doesn't get injured, I see him having another MVP caliber season. I don't think it'll be an MVP, but so next up, average draft position for number 2 is Deshaun Watson. And I have him at 3. Where do you have him, Hunter?
I have Deshaun Watson at 2.
2, okay. So we're both very close on that, Deshaun Watson, I mean, the first 7 games of his rookie year, he had record-breaking he was going to break the record until he tore his ACL. And, last year he showed great signs. I feel like when I had him, I felt like he always threw an interception, so I kind of downplayed that a little bit at 3, and Hunter's got him at 2, but I felt like right when I traded him, he stopped throwing interceptions every week. So he'd only throw like roughly 1 a week in that like 5-game span. So, Deshaun Watson, great choice. I definitely see him at number 2, and they got him average draft position at number 2. So
who do you have at number 2?
Number 2, I got Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
I truly believe that Aaron Rodgers will have like. I want to put him at 1. But Patrick Mahomes is tough. Aaron Rodgers, since 2010, has been putting up, he should be QB1 like every year. And if you draft him at quarterback 1 every year, I wouldn't hate it at all, because
no, I wouldn't hate it either.
Aaron Rodgers has put up these 40 touchdown year after year, and you can't hate it. And
absolutely,
maybe the new coach now, I see signs of life there. Maybe Mike McCarthy really held him back from last year, but not even that. He's been hurt. He had the knee. The year before he had the shoulder, and I've had him almost every year I played fantasy, and even like when he got hurt, broken collarbone, it was one of the most awful days in fantasy football for me.
Not to mention just for Packer fans in
general. And Packers, yeah, absolutely. You got Packer fan right here who probably was very upset. But, I can see him being number 1. Patrick Mahomes right there, though. So I'll put him at number 2.
And if Aaron Rodgers stays healthy, I mean, there's no reason for him to be, a top 1 or a top 2 quarterback in the, entire fantasy.
Yeah, he's got some weapons. Like, if Aaron Jones could be a workhorse and he could catch him on the check down, all the time.
Absolutely.
If he could hit Devontae Adams all the time, and, a couple of these other guys, Van Scantling, I believe, and Geronimo Allison, they're kind of building a name for himself. They may not be top-notch receivers yet, but definitely I know Scantling had a very consistent year when he started playing, and he was a big waiver pickup last year. I picked him up, and he did stop performing that consistently, but they got weapons. I think Aaron Rodgers will be back to what we know him as, So average draft position number 3, we got Andrew Luck. I have him at 5. I could definitely see him going down now with a calf injury, and he might not play week 1. So what do you have him at, Hunter?
Andrew Luck?
Yeah.
I have Luck at 7.
7, okay.
7.
Yeah, so we got him right there between 6. That calf injury doesn't sound good. Andrew Luck being injured all the time, he's starting to really become a risk in fantasy, and
absolutely.
I don't know if I really feel comfortable drafting him. If I draft Andrew Luck, earlier picks, I'd rather see you guys just stay away from Andrew Luck and draft like guys like Cam Newton or Jared Goff or even like I'd rather see you draft Josh Allen in the last round and be safe with that. I know it's bold, but in the last round, be safe with that rushing yards, and instead of having Andrew Luck being injured and then your top pick goes out for you. So
I'd take Tom Brady over Andrew Luck any day.
Absolutely, yeah. Tom Brady's getting dropped in the rankings, and the guy's still maybe not the best fantasy quarterback, but still top. If he's my fantasy quarterback, I hopefully didn't draft him early, but I'd be fine with him as my quarterback. So next we have Aaron Rodgers at number 4. We already discussed him. Number 5 average draft position is Baker Mayfield. So Baker has got a new weapon by name of Odell Beckham Jr. And then he's got Jarvis Landry. He's got David Njoku. He's got Nick Chubb. He could get Kareem Hunt at the end.
Yep.
He's usually I seen him ranked a lot higher. I have him or we both have him at 4.
Yes.
So, which could be right, but Baker. The only thing about Baker is still that he's young. I still think he's a partier. You just showed me the video of him shotgunning a beer at a game. So I hope nothing like that happens with his career. But he didn't play a full season last year, and he put up 27 touchdowns. He had great consistency number. If he played the whole 16 games, he would have been I believe top 3 for a quarterback with touchdowns. So. Baker, great option, but average draft position's 5, and I definitely agree with that. If I can see 4. We both have him at 4, and I just see Andrew Luck dropping now with the calf injury. So I believe 4 all the way around is the way to go for Baker. So the next average draft position is Matt Ryan, Matty Ice. I have him low, but he's still in the top 10 at number 9. What do you have him at, Hunter?
I do not have.
He doesn't have Matty Ice.
Matt Ryan on my top 10.
The thing about Matt Ryan, he throws a lot of yards. He's been a very consistent quarterback. He's got Julio Jones, probably the best offensive weapon in the NFL right now. So you can't go wrong. Number 6. It's a little bit of stretch, but honestly, if you draft them, just like drafting, Aaron Rodgers every year, if you draft him for your quarterback, I'm totally fine with it. I wouldn't draft him early if he's there. I'd wait a couple of rounds till, he's available. So Matt Ryan, number 6. Number 7, Carson Wentz. I do not agree with at all. I don't think he's in my top 10.
No.
I know everyone's hyping on the Eagles this year. I know they got the stinking Madden overall of 89, the best one in the game, even though that doesn't matter, but this is fantasy football, so maybe the team is going to be a lot better this year. I truly believe, it's hard to say this, I truly believe though that Nick Foles is slightly better than him, at least more clutch than Carson Wentz, so I don't see Nick Foles being a quarterback in fantasy that's worthy. I wouldn't take him at all, but I wouldn't take him in front of Carson Wentz either, but I still don't see Carson Wentz being the top 10. So that's how I feel about that. Do you have anything to say about Wentz? He's got a great team, but
yeah, I mean, he's not bad. I feel like he's kind of injury prone too.
Yeah.
Like he is.
The ACL that's kind of just stuck with him and I believe he had a back injury as well.
Yeah, I mean, if he stays healthy, he can be a really good quarterback.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of can he stay healthy.
Absolutely, yeah. I see him right there at like 11, 12. Like I'm not saying that he just drops, but like
he's
Andrew
Andrew Luck too. As long as if like Luck and Wentz stayed healthy, I'm like they're easily great quarterbacks.
Yeah, absolutely. So next we got number 8 average draft position, Drew Brees. And Drew Brees just turned 40 years old. A lot of people, I've seen a lot of fantasy magazines rank him like 25, 24, 23. And Brady at like the 20s, And then I've seen a couple of them rank him, 11, 12, 13. So we both have him at 6.
Yes.
Okay. I think he's definitely got another year in him. I think next year maybe you could start doing that, old age thing. If even 40's not even old, but if Father Time kicks in, then maybe you could start doing that. I mean, Tom Brady just won a Super Bowl at just turned 42, so I don't see really anything about the age thing. Not at least not yet.
Oh, yeah.
Drew Brees has the most career passing yards of all time. So he's just gonna add
and
on.
He's got
to
weapons too on the team.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he's got plenty of weapons. He's got Kamara, and then I guess he's got a lot of wide receivers. I really don't know all of them off the top of my head, but like he just got Jared Cook, I know, and then Michael Thomas, the highest paid wide receiver. Then he's got a couple of guys that you usually they'll score a couple touchdowns a game. You'll see them on the waiver wire, and they'll get hyped up.
Yep.
I know that Smith guy last year, and then Cam Meredith was there too. Everyone had a couple of those waiver wire spouts, but he throws to everyone. Like it's not. That's the thing about Michael Thomas. Like he could be like number one wide receiver, but he doesn't get the amount of targets and touchdowns like he should. He did lead the league in receptions last year, but he didn't get the amount of targets because he caught almost all his targets, But that's what Drew Brees is just spreading that ball around, and then when you get the check down of Alvin Kamara, it's a scary offense. So Drew Brees, he's at 8. We both have him at 6, and I think it's very wherever you want to draft him, right around there. I definitely feel comfortable with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So average draft position number 9, Russell Wilson. I have him at 7. I don't believe you have him on the list, or do you? Russell Wilson on your list?
No.
You
I think he's washed up.
Washed up. Okay.
Yeah, I genuinely think he's a bum.
Okay, got it. Well, a bum is bold.
It's bold.
30.
It's bold.
He just turned 30. He's got the new weapon, DK Metcalf there. A lot of hype on him with the combine.
Yep.
But you could be right. You could be onto something. But I still think he's got a couple of years of life left in him, per se. So I have him at 7, not ranked on your top 10. Now, would you put him like around the 12 with the Wentz and the Goffs and?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So he's still right there at the list. I think he's still like. You can have him as your quarterback. Don't take him too early. Absolutely not.
Yeah, no.
But he's average drafting at 8. So however you feel about that. I take him at 8. I feel comfortable. I have him at 7, so we're all right around there. You're a little away from him, but you probably would have him at 12 or 11. So.
Yeah.
Next, our last one, we have Cam Newton. He's at number 10, average draft position, and I actually do have him at number 10 as well. Do you have him on your list, Hunter?
No, but my number 10 is extremely bold. I think Lamar Jackson could be an absolute monster.
Okay, well, let's hold up on Lamar Jackson real quick. So Cam Newton, 10. Let me just go over him real quick. So Cam, he's got the shoulder injury, but he had it repaired a couple of years ago, and right after he had that surgery, he was quarterback number 2. He went to the Super Bowl. Didn't win, but he's quarterback number 2 in fantasy football. Now he's kind of had the same thing again. He just got the surgery. I could see him. I understand he's 10. I have him at 10 as well. But if everything goes right, he's got some young wide receivers. And if Greg Olsen stays healthy as well, Cam could be a top 5. Absolutely. Like I think he could, if everything goes right. And if you get him that late and he goes top 5, well, man, good for you, So that's what I'm kind of playing on in fantasy football this year. The Jared Goffs, not the Carson Wentz, but it's a couple of those guys that are big sleepers in the quarterback. So the big names you don't have to draft. So that's how I feel about Cam Newton. Number 10 is probably a really good position. You give him definitely late. So now back to you, Hunter. Lamar Jackson at 10.
Yeah.
What is this?
I mean, for the short amount of time that he played last season, I mean, he put up decent numbers. I mean, he put up 1,200 passing yards and rushed for almost 700.
Okay, yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, he also broke the NFL quarterback carries record.
Carries, okay. I believe he
did.
did.
140 something, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably held by Mike Vick.
Yeah,
before,
yeah.
So
But I mean, if he can put numbers like that up, week in, week out, stays healthy, I mean, I could absolutely see him being an
that's
absolute
the thing.
monster.
The rushing really takes good aspect to the game when, especially if you're in a league that like rushing yards are twice as much as passing yards. As a quarterback, that could be big. The Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. If you got anyone who really rushes a ton, like those guys, if you're in a rushing league that's big on rushing, I'd take them late and be happy with it. Number 10, Lamar Jackson, standard leagues though, little bold, but
It is bold. It is bold.
I'm not upset about it though. I don't hate him being in top 15. If he's right at 15, I don't hate that. So the rushing plays a big effect in the game. So was there anyone that I did not list that you really wanted to mention? Because Jared Goff was not in the top 10 average draft position. A lot of people are a little down on him this year, but he just took his team to a Super Bowl. Maybe Todd Gurley helped. Maybe the defense helped as well. But it's a team sport. And Jared Goff, I think he deserves to be on top 10. I had him at 8. Did you have him?
I had Goff at 5.
5, yeah.
So
I think Jared Goff's another great one. He's not really getting drafted, so if you could pick him up, that's a nice sleeper to have really late. Don't worry about a quarterback in any rounds. Get your running backs, get your wide receivers, and then if you get Jared Goff real late, I'd be happy with your team. So, was there anyone else, Hunter, you'd like to mention?
It's probably bold, but I mean, I'm biased with Tom Brady.
Tom Brady?
Okay.
Yeah.
He's just consistently he's just good. He's just I mean, he may not put up the most amount of points, but I mean, I've drafted him the past 2 years in fantasy in our league.
Yeah.
And he's just consistently put up decent numbers. Like it's not awful. It's not super high numbers, but it's been a consistent. Like 30 points.
So if you really if you don't really care about the high ceiling and low floor, take Tom Brady. He's got a great consistency. That's why I like DeAndre Hopkins too, and wide receiver. He's very consistent as well, and that's why he's really top. The only thing about Brady, he might not necessarily throw it deep anymore. He doesn't really have. If
he does it every once. I mean, he's not consistently, chucking
but
the ball.
He's throwing great passes, and he's still doing
he's
it.
got solid receivers. He's got the chemistry with pretty much every receiver he's had.
Absolutely. So he's got a lot of those slot receivers, and that's really what you'll get out of him.
Yeah.
Slot receiver performances. So if you want a consistent quarterback, what did you have him at?
I had him at 9.
9. Yeah. I don't hate it.
It's probably a little too high, but I mean, I just, like I said, I'm biased on it, because I've had him in fantasy for just numerous years, and it's just consistent numbers.
Right on. Well, that's our quarterback list, and if you got anything to say about it, comment down below, and subscribe, like, comment, whatever you like to do on YouTube, and thank